Pakistan did not receive even an iota of the attention it deserves.
Climate activist Aisha Siddiqa is criticizing the global response to the deadly floods in Pakistan.
The amount of people displaced in Pakistan is roughly between 33 million to 50 million. That is statistically around 6 times the amount of people internally displaced in Ukraine. That does not mean that the suffering of those innocent people in Ukraine should be diminished. The reason for making this point is that the media attention that is given to the global north seems to be time and time again more than the people of the global south.
The flooding in Pakistan has killed over 1,600 people and has caused an estimated $30 billion in damages. International assistance has barely made a dent in those losses.
Just a few weeks ago, the United States donated $30 million. That's less than $1 per person affected. Now that the donations have increased, it is roughly $2 per person.
Pakistan produces less than 1% of global carbon emissions, but climate catastrophe is already leading to death and destruction across the country. From Pakistan to Somalia and Bangladesh to the Caribbean, low-income countries across the global south are already facing severe effects of the climate crisis. Wealthy, industrialized countries responsible for the increase in global greenhouse gas emissions have repeatedly broken their pledges to financially assist countries on the front lines of the climate crisis.
If one looks at the climate finance and the loss and damage finance that was supposed to be given to the nations, it's not even like a crumb.
In August, the International Monetary Fund released a long-blocked bailout package of $1.17 billion, part of Pakistan's $6 billion IMF bailout agreed on in 2019. But in order to get those funds released, the Pakistani government had to implement austerity measures, like cutting subsidies for electricity and petroleum. That means unaffordable costs for an impoverished population. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has been urging global leaders to consider debt reduction for the devastated country. On September 30th, the US agreed to suspend payments on $132 million of Pakistan's debt.
Pakistan's debt should be cancelled, especially in a situation like this. Climate change is a continuation of colonization. Colonization never ended. It just took on different forms. We pick the cotton from our land to clothe the global north. Pakistan provides the world so much of its textile. We feed the world in our grain and rice. And instead of saying, hey, for all of the things you have provided us, let us help you, we're given X amount of money with the knowledge that we have to pay it back tenfold eventually in debt and taxes. This is not humanitarian aid. This is just insanely cruel financial politics being put in play.